All right, welcome everyone, and let's all just take a deep breath for a moment and let go of the day. And with that being said, apologies for the delay in starting, and I'm going to hand it off to the amazing Tammy Christine to get us started for today.
Welcome in everyone. Welcome to Riding Through the Unknown with our wonderful, beautiful ghost host slash extraordinaire, Michael Kopf. It's such a crazy night. It's been such a crazy week. I mean, the energy's chaotic. Things are nuts. Yes, joy. Technical issues is correct. And we don't know why. But I will tell you that the candle just came back on. So whatever was me is now whoop. Hey Jess, good to see you, sweetheart.
And just so everybody knows, we did ask them to give us an hour of tech-free issues, so fingers crossed.
I'm like sitting here before we started going, Oh, I tell you what, it is so funny. And you know, I had a reading right before this with a lady in Malaysia. It was a beautiful, crazy, beautiful reading. I have one after this with a lady in Malaysia, and I'm telling you, it's just, spirit is all up in our business tonight. So we're gonna get started and see how things work out. Hopefully, we won't have any more technical issues with weather, nothing like that. We have asked them to stop it. Just stop it. Michael and I, you guys probably don't know this, but for the last 2 months, we have gotten EVPs in our recordings, and they've been extremely pertinent to what I was saying. So it's kind of crazy. We're going to have to do like a reel or something, Michael, and post those because they're just kind of like mind shut. It just blows your mind.
And that's why I got headphones on, is to see if I can hear them real time.
Yes. So we are going to get started. I want you guys to know that how I work is with Source, God, Spirit, my guardians, my angels. What I do is I feel the emotional bond that they had with you here on the earth plane. And so they bring me symbols and signs and clues that are representative of who they are, who they were in life. Maybe it's their character, maybe it's something specific about them, maybe it's a name, maybe it's an idea or a location that they spent time at, something that physically happened to them. I feel things in my body. So all that said, I am here for you. That is what I am here for. So share this out, tell your friends, get them on here. I am going to strictly be going by the comments. And when I start to give pieces of evidence and you can understand what I am saying, then I need you to chime in. And I know there's a little bit of a delay with the text messaging, so it might take a second, but chime in, tell me, hey, this could be for me. Don't give me information though. I don't want you to feed me the information, because I want to be able to bring that to you so that you know, oh my gosh, this is my loved one in spirit, right? So let me get going here. And I know we're watching, there's a lot of people watching on a lot of different platforms. I think we can only see the comments if you're watching from YouTube. Isn't that right, Michael?
YouTube and
Facebook, maybe.
Facebook, if it connects, but
yeah, and we were having some trouble with Facebook right before we started. So if you're on Facebook and you feel like your comments are being ignored, please just come over to the YouTube, Riding Through the Unknown, and that way we can see your comments for sure. I hate for people to not get their readings because they're in a different platform and they aren't where I can see their comments so that we can converse back and forth. And like I know there's a drag because the last comment I got was, let's see, I just see Joy said something about PM or hi, or Jess said hi, Joy said PM, and I'm not sure. Oh, little ghosties. She just put little ghosties. Yeah. So that was the last one I had. Yeah, 5 of them. Okay. I was, as I was starting to drop into my spirit world space, I was hearing brother, and I'm not sure why I was hearing brother yet, but it felt brother, like a brotherly energy coming through. And I keep getting pictures of like, I keep getting like hiking mountains, and I'm not sure why I'm getting hiking in mountains, but they keep showing me like mountains or hiking or a love for the outdoors. If anyone understands that piece so far, type it in. I'm not sure how many people we've got watching just yet because we're a little late starting, but I don't see that many comments. Let's see.
We have 3 watching so far that I can tell.
That might be Jess. Okay.
Jessica is saying might be for her.
So Jess, would you just validate for me? And did you actually, you have a brother in spirit first and foremost? Because he was adamant to say he was a brother.
Could it also be someone that she viewed as a brother?
Right. Could true. But I mean, I feel like the connection was tighter than someone that was viewed like. It felt like personal. It felt very personal. A cousin like a brother. Okay, that's still family, so that could be very personal. Okay. And did he in fact like hiking or hike the mountains, love the outdoors? Because it's like I don't know what this is with him, but he keeps like like taking a big, long, deep draw of air in, like he's been free of something, almost as if like that airway, like he can breathe. So did he have problems with his airway? Did something happen with his airway? He couldn't breathe, or something got? It almost feels like a cutoff because he's taking big long breaths and breathing the air, and that's when he shows me the mountains and the hiking and the outdoors, and he's like, it's so much bigger than you can imagine. He keeps telling me it's so much bigger and broader and most beautiful thing you can ever imagine.
She said he loved the outdoors.
Okay, he would have also passed. He also would have passed of a younger age. I'm not sure why I'm feeling like it within his. This is what's strange about it. It's why is he doing this cut this? He keeps giving me this like cut, like he cut it off, like he stopped it. He stopped it.
She said he took his own life.
Okay. Because there was so much agony, there was so much pain and hurt he was feeling, and then he keeps saying, I stopped it. So that would make sense to me in the realm of him taking responsibility for his life in this way. He stopped the pain. He stopped the anxiety, the pressure. And I keep getting this instance with him. I don't know why I want to say this. This, I don't know if this is related to you or not related to you. It's a D name. Could be like a David or a Darren, David, a D name. And he took a lot of chances. Like he's showing me risky behaviors. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So type it in the chat if it does. But like things that he knew could be potentially dangerous or harmful, but he would do them anyway. He would just, it was almost a joke, almost like, oh, I'm invincible. Oh, I can do whatever. I can go jump this. I can, what is it called? Parquet, right? Is it,
Oh, I think it is parquet
where
where
you
they
like,
can jump
yeah,
around.
yeah, yeah, and you like try to,
Yeah.
okay, what was she saying? Yes, David, but that's sometime different.
Oh, she meant someone
Somewhat
different.
different. Okay, so there is a David though.
Oh, and she says, "Oh my God, I know who it is."
Okay, so this person that we're talking about, that you, David, is his, so his name is David. Am I hearing that correctly, Jess?
She says it's a mentor I had when I was younger, passed in an accident. So
Okay.
it's two different
Don't,
people.
okay, don't discount your brother though, because he's here too. I'm feeling energies that are, they're intertwining. There's something about your cousin, the cousin like a brother, his energy, and the energy of this David. Yes, David. Okay, perfect. Because he came through with that right, like he said, David. He dropped that in my head. Um, and then I doubted myself and said, "Oh, David, Darren, maybe," but David, that was his immediate. There's something about the behavior. It almost feels to me like a, just like I said, like a riskiness, or those people that go out and they're, I'm going to do parquet, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna walk on the edge of the cliff. I'm not going to stay to the side and keep myself safe. I'm going to walk on the edge of the cliff, where the rocks are shale and I could slip and fall, and I'm going to do everything like risky. That's the energy that they're both kind of coming across with, that they had kind of risky behavior. Does that make sense to you?
And Tammy, it's not parquet, it's parkour. It
But,
just came to me.
oh my gosh, parquet is butter. Ha!
Yeah.
Parquet.
It's
Okay,
also a floor, so yeah.
that's hilarious. Okay, yeah, parquet. Oh yes, you're right. It is a floor too. We're so funny. Okay. Yes. Okay.
So
So, oh,
motorcycle accident.
would you understand David? They were both that way. Yes. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay. Now, would you understand David when I was getting the I cut it off thing? Because that was also a similarity of duplicity. Would you understand with the motorcycle accident, his airway being restricted from the accident? Because he's telling me too that like he couldn't breathe. He couldn't breathe. Um, and that would be at the time of the accident. That is not in any stretch of the imagination now happening. Okay. um, I need everyone to know out there that when I talk about things that happened during the loved one's passing or an accident, this is not symbolic of how they feel now. This is symbols, signs they're giving me and making me feel in my body so that I can relay who they are to you. Okay, she said, yes, broke his neck. Perfect. Okay, not that that's perfect. I don't want him to have broken his neck. I'm just saying we're validating what I'm getting, which is good. So yeah, he definitely was like going like this, like to this area of his neck, and like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe. Okay. Um, and the risky behavior, the riding the motorcycle, and probably not following the laws, and having a helmet, and doing the things that you do. We see it every day. I know, and it's just those are the things though that like you coulda, shoulda, woulda, and you didn't, and so. But here nor there. There's something about a. I don't know what this, like they keep, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Jess, would you understand why they keep showing me he didn't have a helmet? Okay, yeah, I saw that.
Um, Tammy,
Yeah,
do you have two candles lit side by side on the table?
right here.
Because it looks like one just lit, but it doesn't look like it's the paranormal candle. It looks like it's a real candle that just
And it
lit
got
up
brighter.
a lot
These,
brighter.
these are both on, but they do tend to do that when I'm in readings. They'll, the flames will shoot higher. So Hi, Tiffany Marie. Yeah,
I
and
just wanted to make sure I
those
wasn't
are not,
seeing
yeah,
something.
these are real. These two right here are real, and that one is the paranormal one. And
Okay.
that's, yeah, and then that's a paranormal little ghosty guy that, like, his little hands light up green if certain energy gets around him. So, um, okay, that's interesting. But yeah, they do tend to do that. That's just the flames getting a little brighter, a little higher. Um, I keep, okay, so what I was going to, I need to go back to what I was seeing. Jess, I don't know if this makes sense for you, but they're bringing through also a woman. Um, this woman I feel is connected to you. I don't know if this is grandma, feels like a very loving energy, but do you happen to know if grandma had ever had those had put tennis balls on like a walker? You know what I'm talking about when they have walkers and they put the tennis balls to help move the walker easier? Because they just kept showing me tennis balls, and I'm not understanding the reference of the tennis balls, but they showed me like pushing and tennis balls. And there's something with I don't know what this is in her
It
Ruth.
says, yes, my great grandma Ruth.
Okay. Do you happen to know, did she have a freckle or a birthmark or something on the side of her face? Like a darker spot, maybe not a birthmark, maybe like just a darker spot? Because she keeps pointing to it as if it's an identifying mark for her. And it could just be like a sunspot, but it's dark and it's like kind of almost in her hairline. Something right about here.
She said, yes, she did. She did, yes.
Okay, okay. So that's her way of communicating to me, like, hey, this is me, and she's gonna know that this is me by saying that. Okay. So she's sending all her love. She knows you've been through it lately. Um, like a sunspot. Okay. She's talking about this is so interesting. I don't know if you'll know this because great grandmothers, it's, we have a very limited time with them. And she keeps talking about, and this is going to be interesting, but she keeps talking about fluids and like urinary, like her bladder and her bladder and her ureter and like the track of the fluids in the body. And she keeps talking about having issues with, like repetitive UTIs or something like that later on in her years, and I want to say she was actually kind of incontinent and needed to wear garments to help with that, but she keeps talking about the fluids, and she's kind of giggly, which is really kind of cute, but she's kind of giggly because she talks about the fluids, and then like she's like, you fluid so much, you fluid so much, you fluid so much. She's like, you're going to have problems like me one day. She's just being silly. And I don't know what she means by that, but it's related to her, but she's not saying like you're going to. She's just giggly about it because she thinks that you drink like a lot. Does that make sense?
She said, yes, she did have to wear garments.
Okay, okay. Um, it's cute. She's kind of correlating that with like you drinking a lot of fluids all the time, and she's saying like, oh, I could never have done that. Like if I had to drink, yeah, she was really silly. Exactly. Yeah, she was, and she's being silly, and she's talking about like, oh my gosh, like I couldn't have handled what you have to do every day. And I know Jess, she actually, let me tell you, and let me give Jess a little shout out really quick. Jess has a company called Fire Mountain Healing Jewelry, and I'm actually wearing two of the pieces. I didn't know she was going to be here tonight. I did send her the invite, but I'm wearing two of her pieces right now, and she makes beautiful, beautiful crystal jewelry. And we can, if anyone's interested, send me a message. I'll get you her information. And I do know a little bit about Jess. Not anything that I've come up with tonight. We've never talked about any of these folks, but yeah, yes, constant fluid for pots. Exactly. That's the part that I know.
And
So
Tammy,
yeah,
ghostly candle has
I
been
know it's
going
on and
on and
off,
off.
on and off. Yeah, yeah, I know. I see it. Yes, Joy, she does. Joy has a bunch of her pieces too, and she custom does stuff too. She's pretty freaking amazing. Let me just tell you. So, little shout out for her for that jewelry.
They do
Um,
look amazing.
there it is, right there. Yep. Oh my gosh, your grandmother is a hoot. She is this is funny. I don't it's like weird because she is talking about like okay, this is just back in I don't know if this is like the 30s or 40s, but she keeps taking like a cigarette and putting it like right here. Okay. You know how they used to do that? Like
Right.
okay.
In the
And
50s.
oh, was it 50s? Okay. Well, she's doing that, but she's doing it like in a comical way. Like, hold on a minute. I'm going to get myself all ready for this next little bit. She's hilarious, but it almost feels to me like she could have possibly been a smoker like early on, but wasn't for most of her life. But there's this sense of her just being kind of comical and funny about it and sticking it on her ear and showing her, her younger fun flair for life. Um, Jess, I want to leave you with all their love, and I feel another man coming in, so I want to leave you with their love, and you can see her doing that. But I love you so much, sweetheart. Thank you for letting me read for you. I appreciate it. It was awesome. Um, I keep getting okay. It's like okay. The number 22 keeps coming up big for me again, and I'm not sure if we had that before on here. The number 22.
She says, I love you too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Number 22. I hear engine. Um, okay, there was like it felt like a this felt like a drop. Like I just dropped. Um, So this is a male energy. He gave me the number 22. He's talking about an engine. And he's talking about just dropped. I just dropped. Um, he's giving me a little bit of head pain also, and I'm not sure what that head pain is. This could be like symbolic of like an aneurysm or something of that nature. Although I feel usually when I get like aneurysm, it's more like a sharp pain. This is more like a broad spectrum pain, like just like a general broad over across my entire head. Um, Almost as if I had a migraine or a bad headache for like a week. Like it's just a horrible pressure in my head.
Yeah. I looked it up in 1922. Model T cars were in existence, so the engine in 22 could be like he was a mechanic, possibly,
Yeah, I don't think it's mechanic, but let me see where this is going.
or they had a 22 car. There were cars in 22, so that is an option, but I'm not sure.
Okay, interesting. Um, this gentleman is talking about, he's talking about not planting, okay, not planting and being in the dirt. Planting and being in the dirt. Okay, he keeps talking about somebody that does gardening or likes to get out and plant herbs or flowers or do a bit of gardening, and he keeps saying don't do it, don't do it, and I don't know who he's trying to tell not to do it, so I want to find this person. um And he keeps referring to a knee injury or a knee problem that they have. Knee problem or injury with this person. He's saying not to get out and do these things. Does anyone understand a male, the number 22? It could be even a fire engine because he said engine, but it feels bigger than, it's not like engine like a car engine. This feels big, like encompassing.
Could be a plane engine even.
Dropped some kind of like head pain for a while or a headache that came with symptoms. And then he's talking about having problems with a knee, problems with a knee.
Joyce says she has knee injuries.
Yeah, okay. Um, Joy, I don't know if this is Ron trying to come through. Does the number 22 have significance to you, Joy? And he keeps going to his heart as well. So I know there would have been some kind of heart condition or heart issues with him because he keeps doing this and going to his heart. Um,
She says not sure of 22.
okay.
It could also be a jersey. I mean, if
Yeah,
he was an athlete, it could have been a
I
number.
feel like it's more like a date though. I don't know what 22
February 2nd, maybe? She
heart.
says yes, heart, but no head.
Yeah, we could have two people here still again. Um, okay, so let's separate the heart and head.
Yeah. It could be February 2nd. That would be 2 2. And we're
Yeah,
thinking it's 22 as one number, and it's two numbers.
could be. We had that on a case recently. We had that exact thing. I was getting a 4-2, and the other lady was getting 42, and and we both figured it out. But okay, there's something to do though with another house, or like something needs done there. Something needs. He keeps saying, "Don't plant. Don't be in the dirt. Don't do it. Don't help with it. Don't worry about it. Don't leave it alone. Um, it's not going to be good for. It's not going to be good for you." And Joy, I do feel like I'm with you, but the connection, it's weird because there's two of them here, and one of them's trying to get through about this, the one with the head stuff.
Yeah. Not to put someone at risk, but I just thought about 22 could be
Yeah,
part of the location where they're at, like the number on the house, maybe, or some of the numbers to try and say, yes, I know you're here.
who's the 2-2? Can you tell me further? Oh, my ear. Okay. Joy, if I told you, I don't know if this makes sense to you or not, honey, but when I just asked that question, and I don't think it is, Joy, when I just asked that question, I heard two people, um, two and two. Instead of 22, it's two and two. Like two people were lost and then two people were lost. Would it make sense there were four people in your life that have been lost within recent years, or two close at a time and two close at a time?
That she says, yes, definitely.
Okay. Because that's when I asked, well, let it clarify that. What does that mean? That's what they said. They said two and two. And it was like two almost back to back, two almost back to back.
And
Okay.
Jessica is back with saying, my dad has a knee injury. My parents also have a giant greenhouse they
Okay.
plant each year.
Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
Joy, 7 big losses for Joy.
Okay. So I think what's going on, I want Jess, you to take the piece, if you will, about the planting being in the dirt. That could be what that is relating to. Like don't, they're saying, hold off, wait a second, don't go plant. Okay.
Also, my cousin and his wife passed at the same time.
Okay. I feel a bunch of energies around right now. That's why I'm saying this because I don't know that David and all that group left quite so, and other people are trying to come in as well. Jess, they're just trying to make the whole night about you, honey. That's what's happening. Joy, I think though that the 2 and 2, because when I asked, they said Joy. I know that pertains to you also about the two people. But that it was a time thing with that is their point. It was like close in time, close in time. And Jess is laughing. How they keep telling me, okay, so it's like,
Joy is saying we are both good long distance friends, so helping each other.
mm-hmm. I keep hearing this thing about, I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know who has the wind chimes. I feel like maybe both of you do, but for specific, like there's wind chimes, and they these these loved ones are connected. It's like a connection that they're making through the sound of chimes.
I can actually take that.
You can take that.
Yep. I had 2 deaths recently, 2 days apart,
Yeah.
and there are
Oh,
chimes.
Jess said,
Jessica also says me.
okay, interesting. Because I keep hearing like all these wind chimes, and it's like weird because I see wind chimes like desolate, more like in an area that's there's not homes around, and then I see wind chimes with a forest nearby, and then I see wind chimes more of a city area. It's like coordinated, like they're giving me these chimes as a symbol of their love, um, moving with the wind. Michael, do you understand also the wind chimes as far as like hearing them or
Yeah, I
okay,
can.
okay.
Jessica says I'm Forrest.
I'm Forrest, okay. Okay.
I live in a city, but
Okay.
they are next to a tree, both of them,
Okay. Because
separate
yeah,
tree.
that was one of the locations. Um, but it feels like there's like they keep wanting me to say this in a way that I'm probably not going to say it in a manner that is doesn't do it justice. But they keep talking about the wind chimes and the wind and the peacefulness and the noise that it brings. And no matter where you go, whether it be Michael's house, Jess's house, Joy's house, whomever's house it is, they keep talking about this. It's almost as if the wind is them. The wind is, they are within it. They are wherever. That's them. That's their, when the wind blows and it creates that noise, it's a vibration that creates them. I'm not putting this very eloquently, but it's just a way for them to say like tying us all. It's almost like they're tying us all together tonight, which is kind of beautiful. But I'm not sure why they're doing that. There's got to be a bigger message. Um, it actually feels very oneness. Not enough, not enough oneness, not enough love, not enough. Uh, you know what I'm trying to say? What are you laughing about?
Because I literally just had the thought pop in my head that said we're all connected.
Yeah,
And then you said
yeah,
oneness. We're all, and I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't want to get on like a soapbox or anything because we're doing readings, but lately there's been a lot of talk about the world and the stance we are in and how things are. and we need more love and compassion, and we need to get back to like how we used to treat each other and just humanity, and that is the message that they're giving me literally, and telling me that we all need to do a better job down here, that this is what we're here for. And they're in it, they're enjoying it, they're loving it now, they are the one, and we are fighting it for some reason on the earth plane. And they really are just saying, you guys, you guys are connected. It's almost as if they're sharing with me that we are connected as friends or family, and because of that, they are appreciative, and they see how we are being as humans, and they're giving me that connection with the wind and the chimes and the love and the oneness. So I just need you to know that that's the overwhelming message tonight that they're sharing with me, which is very beautiful. Okay. Who connects with the what are they? The little it's like a crabapple tree, or the little round things that fall from the trees and you step on them and they squish. Crabapple, is that what I'm trying to say?
I'm not sure on that one.
We'll ask Joy, Jess, if you guys have an understanding of having those things fall in your yard. I mean, I always thought they were kind of annoying. My grandmother had a tree across the way that dropped them, and you'd step on them and they'd smush and they'd get everywhere, and they're impossible to get off once they smush, like of any kind of surface. But they keep showing me this tree.
Joy says no, and Jess says my grandpa had a crabapple tree.
Okay. And he keeps talking about the little crab apples, the little, how they were just a pain in the butt. And he might have had one of those. Do you know if he liked it? Because from the emotion he's giving me, I feel like it was more of a pain in the butt than it was a nice tree to have in his yard. Oh, he just talks about that tree being there, and it was always a mess. He would clean it. And I feel like it was in the yard though. I don't feel like it was actually like where it got too much on the pavement, but I do feel like there was a part of it that would always come over and he'd have to clear it off. He hated it. LOL. Okay. That's what I was feeling, that he did not like it. Jess, your people are hogging the whole reading tonight. That's okay. It's okay. I want to talk about that tree a little more. There's a significance to that. Jess, I think if it took the whole yard, I want to say though that he planted that tree. It feels to me like it was a love-hate thing. Like at one point he planted it, and then he didn't like it so much, but it was already there, and it was a labor of love, so he let it be and dealt with it.
No need to feel sorry, Jess. It's totally cool.
Not at all. That's what we're here for. He did plant it. Perfect. Well, that's what he was saying. So, and he was a man of your grandpa. Like I'm telling you right now, it's like he could make the biggest jokes. He could make everybody just like laugh hysterically, but he did it in a very almost dry humored way, where if you didn't catch it just right, you would kind of miss it. I hope that makes sense. Because the way he's communicating with me, he's kind of like dry humored, but he's also like, I know he's funny. I know he's being kind of funny about things. Yep, that's him. Okay. And he worked very hard. I also get the impression from him looking into this. He's telling me that I don't want to say he was a farmer, because that's not exactly true. He didn't like till fields, I don't feel like, but I felt like he's showing me that he actually did have a love of labor to the land. So he would have maybe even possibly planted something, but not like a full on, like I'm doing an entire hay field. Or I'm going to go out and plant, hay or what's it called? Like corn, nothing like that. But he did actually love the land and take care of it and nurture it and plant things. And I do see a garden for sure, like a vegetable garden. He snuck jokes so my grandma wouldn't hear. Okay, okay,
And they had beautiful flowers.
okay, and
He gardened.
okay, perfect. Um, wow, this is insane. I have not ever read for Jess before, and like her whole family's popping in tonight, so that's pretty funny.
That's pretty
Um,
special. So,
yeah, that's kind of cool. They definitely decided to be large and in charge tonight. Um, okay, I will tell her. Okay. Jess, your grandpa just said to me that he's so proud of the way that you have been raising your children. Um, he talks about that you are a good steward of the land as well, and that though you don't have the expansion of getting out and oh, that's sweet, Joy. I have to reread that in a minute because I don't want to lose my train of thought. But though you don't have the means to get out and like totally like expand on the land and maybe culture and do the things your grandpa did, he says that you take the time to admire beauty and you take the time to sit and look at the rocks even and just, let yourself immerse in that beauty and immerse in what Mother Nature has right there in your backyard. And he has a special place in his heart for that. And he talks about your children and that you're raising them in an environment to appreciate those things. And then that's so rare nowadays that people don't raise their children to walk by the parks and look at the beauty or step outside and see nature and or go by a babbling brook and hear it gurgle and appreciate it. And he talks about that that's something that you actually do. So he shows me that that is important to him, and it gives him just fluttering heart to know that you are doing such a beautiful job as a mother. So I want to give you that message, and I hope that that resonates. He was my biggest fan. Aww. He certainly is, because I feel his love and his gratitude, and he tells. Oh, okay, now he's being funny, and he says, "Well, I'm a little bit responsible for that." So he's taking some credit for your mom and dad, even. Okay, so yeah, this is beautiful. Aww. Oh, and hello, Danny. Yeah, he is overjoyed at being here tonight. And it's funny that you talk about, what did you say? He snuck jokes so my grandma wouldn't hear. Yeah, well, that's funny because he's sneaking around right now, actually, and trying to hog things because she's there with him and I feel her presence, but she's just letting him do his thing. She's like, okay, go ahead. Just overshadow, step in, go right ahead. Which is so funny. So funny. He helped raise you. Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, this is so special then that he helped raise you and he's coming through and he is coming through as a father figure. I mean, he's very much just very proud of you. Very proud of you, Jess. And he says, don't give up on what's going on in life. Um, he had a big personality. Yeah. He's don't give up on what's going on in life right now, Jess. Your grandpa is letting me know that there are some curveballs ahead, and I don't mean that in a way that is like really bad or something terrible is going to happen. It's just he's talking about there's some things you've been working on lately and you have struggled a bit. And I don't know if this is I almost feel like there's something coming that's going to alleviate or lighten your load, something that's going to make it feel a little bit easier that you haven't been experiencing lately. Lately, you've been experiencing it's just been hard. Everything's been hard. And he's making me feel like there is some relief that's to come. But he also wants you to continue to listen to yourself, listen to your body, take it very easy, and when you have days, you rest. You go rest. Okay. Okay. I'm going through a lot right now, struggling, working really hard on my health. Yeah. Yeah. And he's telling me, like, you're doing great. You're doing exactly what you need to do. Keep it up, but listen to your body. So everything can wait. People can wait. Like, if you're really struggling, you just put it out there and people will be understanding. And he said it is so important for you to listen to that on an everyday basis, even though you push yourself. You constantly overdo it and you push yourself too far. And then you end up in those situations that are even harder to reverse and get out of and get back to normal. So I leave you with all that love from them. Again, maybe they're going to come back again. They did last time. I'm not sure. How are we doing on time? We're getting close.
We're doing good, but I want to make a note because we have people listening to the show for EVP. I recently bumped the mic with my water bottle, so
Okay, so that's
I'm
not
just
what.
making a note of that. So if somebody says, "Oh, there's a strange sound," a little bit ago, they'll know that that was me bumping the mic.
Hi, Bethany, Deanna. Um, I tell you what, with the last bit we have, since that has been a lot of reading, 100%
Well,
Grandpa
we
Jeff.
do have 13 minutes, so
Okay, yeah.
it's up to
No, but I
you.
wanted to try something different.
Okay.
Because sometimes I like to do what is called go direct. And I know we have a few listeners tonight, and this is the perfect time to actually kind of do that. So I'm not sure who is still here in the chat. If you're still here in the chat, pop it in, say I'm here, and I am going to draw my energy to people that are saying I'm here. Bethany, I know you just said hello. If Danny is still here, I can't see the other comments. I'm not sure who else was still here, but pop it in the chat if you're still here, and I will see what I can do to get you a quick message. And Bethany, let's go ahead and Danny or Bethany, Joy, of course. Joy, who just pop it in the chat. Who is someone you would like a message from tonight? Just give me relationship or name, not both. Oh, okay. And Jess, David said, thank you so much for just for realizing it was him, and he wasn't sure if you were going to know that, and he's so happy that you remember all of that. Your husband, okay, and that's Ron. I know Joy's husband's name is Ron. Okay.
Jessica says 3 hearts.
Okay, Joy.
Danny says I'm here.
Okay, and I'll get to her second. Joy, um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what is going on in this situation. Um, I Ron is telling me, okay, this is just interesting. Ron keeps showing me the cats. He keeps showing me Luna and your other kitty, and he keeps showing me them running around and getting under your feet. Um, and Ron just keeps telling me like there have been a couple of close calls lately where they've gotten really under your feet, almost tripped you up. He's saying those dang cats are going to be the death of her. Like she needs to be careful. They they run around and they get right under you. Ron is like your biggest guardian. Um, he keeps talking about the what is the where's the I don't know where the water tank is in your house. I don't know if it's in the basement or somewhere else, but he keeps talking about things like that. You don't need to tinker with them. You don't need to mess with them. Like quit, just call people out. Call people out. You can afford it. You can do that. You don't need to go there. You don't need to do it anymore. So just he's telling you to stop. Um, I shuffle feet when they want to eat. Okay, okay. Do they get under your feet when they're trying to get to the bowl and you're kind of in the way? Because that's what he's showing me. He keeps showing me more of them under your feet or getting to where they could potentially create you to have an issue. And he's back to the knee thing again. So he's concerned about the knee. He's concerned about that right knee specifically giving out or having a problem. Does that make sense?
He says, I don't go in the basement unless emergency.
Yeah, and don't. Yeah, absolutely. Luna runs around in circles. Okay, okay, because yeah, that was the name he gave me specifically, and I cannot remember the other kitty's name right now because that's why he just dropped in. So just be careful. Ron is your biggest guardian, your biggest guide. He is looking out for you at every step of the way, but he doesn't want you to keep doing these things that are potentially dangerous or harmful that could cause an accident. And he said, "You've got to slow down, lady. You've got to slow down. You are go, 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 go. Like, let me get this done. Let me get that done. I need to keep going. I got to get up. I got to do this. I got to do that." And you're taking on more almost than you can handle. But you don't let it slow you down because you feel like, nope, I've got to get this done and I've got to get that done. And I know a little bit about the situation, so I know Joy has some things that she does have to take care of. But just from Ron, he sends all his love, and he wants you, honey, to just slow down a little bit and take it easy. Try not to allow uh, those things where you just get busy and you're trying to hurry, 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 because that's what he's talking about is the hurry, creating a situation. Okay, and Arona, that's the other one. Yeah, is more calm. Okay, yes, Joy's like that. Go, go, go. Yeah, she is. I know. I'm feeling too lazy. Hurry with Graham. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. And he just wants you to slow up. So thank you for letting me do that. And then let's see who we said.
Danny Hook. Danny
Yes,
chimed in next with father.
father. Okay. Okay. And let me see, what was Danny's name again? Where did she go?
Oh, I just took it off. Let me pull it back up. It was here it is.
Okay.
Danny Hawk 7013.
Okay. 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 All right. Danny, would it make sense, hon, if I told you, if I said that immediately when I looked back at your name and I'm trying to connect in with a father figure, um, he's making me feel, okay. And I'm getting all kinds of body systems now. Um, it's like everywhere. I don't know yet if this is cancer. Not 100% sure, but he's making me have things at all different locations, centered in the lung area. Would it make sense to say that he had problems with his lungs, Danny? And he feels like this is almost like to me, it's feeling like there wasn't enough time. You didn't have the conversations you wanted to have, and there's this sense of wish I would have said this. I wish I would have said that. And he keeps telling me like to tell you, don't worry about all that. Let it go. We will talk again. But more importantly, you're holding back. You're holding this grief because there were things that after the fact you thought, oh, I should have had this conversation with my dad, and I wish I would have had this conversation with my dad. And I get the sense that there at some point could have been possibly like a disagreement or an estrangement for a short period of time, where maybe you guys didn't communicate as well as you had when you were smaller. And it almost feels like a distance to me, perhaps, as in physical distance, like you didn't live too close to him as you did once before. Does this make sense, Danny?
She says yes.
Okay, okay. And he just needs you to let that go, honey. He says, listen, bygones be bygones. Whatever this is that you guys dealt with, whatever this is that put a little bit of a crimp in your relationship, that maybe you got back at the end or you didn't have time to go talk to him and tell him, you know, hey, Dad, I love you, and all this doesn't matter, and it doesn't, you know, whatever that is, he says, I heard you. I've heard your prayers. I've heard what you've said to me. Um, I keep seeing someone standing over a like at a memorial, and in their mind they're thinking all these things, like crying and thinking all these things, like I'm sad, I'm sad, I'm sad, I'm sad. I didn't get to, I didn't get to. And he shows me that he heard your prayers. He still hears you, and he wants you to let that go. He wants you to live now for you and understand and realize that your purpose is great. And I think there's some reason that you have underestimated yourself, or you have felt like you're lesser, or you can't get along or do things in life. And you always felt like your dad didn't thought the same thing and didn't look up to you or appreciate you. Well, he does. And he's telling me to tell you that you are loved, you are always loved, you're appreciated, and I'm proud of you. And I do see the good in you and everything you've been able to accomplish, and you're going to accomplish so much more. So does that make sense, Danny? Because he's really concerned that you think he didn't appreciate or love you. Like there's this, like, you thought maybe he didn't love you like he should have, or vice versa. And he's saying, no, throw that all out. Not true. And I'm sorry that I didn't communicate better the love that I do have for you. And I know you're an amazing person and you're going to do so many great things in life. So live for now. Does that make sense?
She said true, or when you just were starting.
Okay. Alrighty. And let's see, Beth, did we have Bethany? Deanna, was she the next? With
Bethany Deanna had her best friend Josh.
Josh. Okay. 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 Let me switch gears here. Okay. Okay. Um, Josh is making me feel immediately like, you know, earlier I had the restricted airway. This isn't a restricted airway. This is more like, uh, I'm not sure what happened to him. It was definitely sudden and tragic, it feels like, because he's got me where it's like I'm almost tasting, um, I don't want to be morbid, but kind of tasting blood. So I feel like there would have been a trauma or a sudden injury. Um, you did not disappoint him, Danny. That's what he was giving you the message. You did not disappoint him. And even if you did in life on this earth plane, honey, he has transmuted that into love, and he just loves you. Um, Back to Bethany, Deanna. Josh is giving me the indication that he had a traumatic injury. Um, so tell me if that's true so far. Just, I wonder if she can hear that I'm talking to her. Um, Bethany, I'm getting from Josh that he had a traumatic injury and he left this earth plane very suddenly because he snaps his fingers like, here gone, here gone. Um, and this was something, it feels like that it was haphazard. It was not something he could have avoided. It feels very, whew, it's heavy. The emotion is super heavy. Um, I'm not yet sure. He's not taking total responsibility, so I'm not sure this was at his hand, but it's traumatic and it's sudden, and he makes me feel like there was a traumatic injury, and like I said, the tasting of blood in my mouth. Um, I almost want to say this is like some sort of a blunt trauma car accident or motorcycle accident, something where he was in motion because he keeps kind of like going around and around. Um, Bethany, can you chime in on any of that, hun?
I'm hoping I didn't upset her because she had put in about him 3 times, and I said, "You're next." And
Yeah, I don't.
oh, okay, here she is. She said yes.
Okay, okay. So can you confirm for me? Was it a blunt trauma? Was it a car accident or a motorcycle accident? And it was sudden. And just you can just say yes. I want to make sure I'm with the right person. That's why I'm doing this. I don't want to give a reading and not be the right person attached for you. And he just told me that you guys were like two peas in a pod. You had a lot of similar likes and dislikes in a
He
car.
says,
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. That's what I was feeling. And just he says two peas in a pod. You guys had a lot of likes, dislikes. You guys are very young. He was very young when this happened. Um, and I don't know why I feel like there were multiple people in the car, but I feel like there were multiple people in the car, or he was traveling like in a caravan, more people than, like somebody leaves a party and heads home, and other people leave at the same time, and they're kind of all driving, and then everybody's kind of heading off their separate ways. And I just feel like this was something where, okay, I don't know if he hit his head, honey, but he is pointing to his head and telling me like I think he hit the dashboard or the steering wheel or he hit something because he's
She,
giving me that force.
she said, "I just hope he knows how much I still love him. My friend's brother was driving."
Okay, okay, okay. There's the windshield or something because to me this feels like I don't even feel like I was a restrained passenger. I feel like I was I went forward and boom, and it was like lights out. To me, it feels very boom, and that was it. Um, but I don't. I feel like there was the. Can you confirm with me that the driver, your brother, or yes, car accident, right? Did the brother actually, or the person driving, did they actually survive? Because I'm feeling like he was the one. I'm sorry, I don't mean to make you cry. He needs you to understand that he did not hurt. It was not painful. He needs you to understand. Hmm,
She
you
says,
guys,
"We were inseparable."
yeah, two peas in a pod, he said. Um, Bethany, you guys weren't just inseparable. And I think if you weren't already boyfriend and girlfriend, kind of secretively, you would have been soon. Um, because he just did this to me. Like, I love you, the little heart. I love you. And he's pulsing it. Um, to me, that means there was more there than just a friendship. There was actually kind of a secret crush.
Him and a friend were on their way to work and died when they pulled in.
Okay. Okay. Well, I want you to know he does know how much you loved him. Um, And again, I don't know, like I said, if you guys had actually kind of become boyfriend and girlfriend, or it was kind of leaning that way, because that's how I feel like it was kind of leaning that way. Um, but he needs you to know that he absolutely was leaning that way. He wanted that. That was like, it's almost like right before, right before you have an engagement or something, that feeling of like, oh, I'm really going to do this. I love her so much. That's the kind of energy that he brings to this reading tonight with him for you. And I'm so sorry about his loss and the ear that you're saying. And it's horrible. And what's really crazy too is he doesn't want you to be mad at anyone. Um, it's almost like he's trying to say to me that this wasn't their fault. This wasn't their fault. Somebody else was responsible, and they came at them. They came forward. They came at him, and there was just nothing they could do. There was nothing they could do. Um,
She says the car hit him doing 75, hitting him on his side. The other person died as well, but not immediately.
okay, so see, I'm seeing the car, and that's what he's showing me is the car itself and
Oh,
what happened.
he
Oh,
was gay.
that's funny. Well, this is interesting though, because how many times, and I don't know, I mean, I have gay friends too, but how many times have you been really close to someone that's gay and it's almost like you're in a relationship with them, but it's platonic because they are, but at the same time, you could be because you get along so well because that flies out the window, right? You don't have to worry about all the silliness. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me then because he just feels like almost like a sis, like you're like his sister. You are his sister. You're like that close. You're so close that you could be family, even though you're not. So there's a love there that supersedes, the laws of attraction, if you will. Um, it brings it more to, like I said, an interconnectedness, which we've been talking about all night long, this interconnectedness with all of us and the oneness. And that's what he keeps talking about is the interconnectedness, the oneness. I'm going to bring this whole night full circle 360 now, because now that's where he's going with his message is that it doesn't matter who we are, what we are, who we love. We are literally all one. We are all interconnected, and we need to wake up and open our eyes and start treating everybody that way and being courteous and kind and generous and loving, because that is the only thing we can do anymore on this earth. We've got so much chaos out there. That is the one thing that cannot be broken and bent, you know? Oh, thank you, Brianna, or Bethany, so much for letting me read for you and connect you with Josh. Um, and he,
I, I, I just had something happen.
what was that?
My blind is open so I can see outside, and there was a bright, small, like yellow golden light that just lit up and went out.
Oh,
And there are no fireflies around us.
yeah.
So I don't know. There's another one.
Huh.
I
Well, I don't know, but the reading that I was doing in Malaysia right before we started the show, Spirit was telling me that they were going to bring white light, and I literally wrote it in my book on her reading. It says like white right here, and Spirit was saying, "Oh, I'm going to bring white light, and people need to start noticing the white light or just a flash of light because that's Spirit and that's love, and that's all that matters at the end of the day." Sometimes he would call you his girlfriend. Well, he is.
oh,
That's why I said
no, no,
that.
no. Yeah, no, no, no. She says that was most definitely us. Someone actually called me his
Oh, okay,
girlfriend.
gotcha. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Because yeah, that's the feeling. That's the feeling he gives me is there was so much love there between the two of you that just superseded everything that it was like you were his girlfriend. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you take that with you and keep that close to your heart because he absolutely knows you're still out there. He knows you're still working through this. Um, and he loves you. He still loves you.
She says, I just want him to know I'm sorry about everything. I wish we were on speaking terms prior to his passing. Apparently, he's forgiven you because he's talking. So I'd say
Yeah. Yeah.
everything's good.
It amazes me how many times I do readings and people, like, I'll even hit sometimes on the Discord or like we had one tonight where it was like that, where there was with dad, there was some kind of little thing, but put it aside. And it amazes me how good spirit is, because you're welcome, sweetheart. Because when we cross and we go over to the heavens and we go to the other side, if we are a true, beautiful soul and we don't leave here with resentment and anger and hate and regrets and all the things, if we really clear our own energy and work on that consistently, daily, monthly, weekly, whatever it is, to make ourselves more centered and grounded, right? Then when we ascend, when we go and transmute to the other side, what's left is nothing but the love, and we don't carry those ill wills over with us. Um, what I do see, and even in the paranormal world, what I see is when we have souls on the other side, or earthbound souls, they carry over that hate or that discord, or the distrust or just the anger. They're not completely, in the love. They're actually kind of bouncing between the earth plane and the heavens, because they can't let that go. They can't let that go. So it's important. It's important to work through all of your issues, all of your things at all times. And we're not all. It's we gotta get up and go to work at 6 a.m. and we gotta do this and we gotta do that, and it gets busy and we forget. But if we bring ourselves back to center and try to do that a little bit more here and there and be cognizant and intentional about it, then really honestly, our worlds do look better and things do look up, and karma is real. And when we are working on ourselves, karma returns us and pays us in full.
Yeah. And if you don't mind, I can answer and respond to this
Yeah,
one. It says, my life hasn't been the same since he died. That is very true. Death has a really big way of putting life in perspective and
yeah,
everything into a whole new area. So don't feel like, take your time with it. Don't need to rush it.
that's right.
It's, I lost my mom recently, and so my life has changed,
Yeah,
and so don't it's going to, and some things will remain the same, some things will be different, your perspectives will change, but that's all the natural part of it. And so just take what you learn and
yeah.
move, and got to push forward. And I'm not sure if he's
Well,
still here to get a nickname. That's a Tammy question.
oh, can you ask him what his nickname was? Oh, Lordy, that's the needle in the haystack question. When people do that to psychic mediums, we go,
Or what we called him. That's
Oh, I don't know. I don't know why, but I like when you said that and I tapped in for just a second. I don't know if this was more like his parents called him when he was little. I keep hearing Joshy, but that's not the nickname that I know you're after. Um, I keep hearing Joshy, like his parents called him that, but I'm not necessarily. What is it? Something about being quick on the draw? I don't know what this is. Um, like fat, like something like fast or quick on the draw, something. I don't know. This answer feels like it has to relate with something like impulsive or quick or fast, or I'm not sure. I'm not picking up the nickname. It's not coming to me. Um, she can tell us if she wants to though.
Or you can tell us if we're in the ballpark.
Yeah. And what this is about the like, did he do things like really impulsive and really fast? Um, I don't know what this is. Boss Josh.
I get fast and loud, but that
I
was a TV show.
know, yeah. No, but something like, I think his parents probably called him Joshy at one point, because that was the immediate that I heard.
Joster? I don't know.
No, you know what's funny? Um, hmm. I don't know if he ever did drag. Ja- like I keep hearing like jazz or I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Now I think I'm reaching because that's what happens when you start asking specific questions. Spirit doesn't always respond exactly as you want them to. uh,
Right. And
can we talk about real quick? Uh, oh, thank you, Joy. Can we talk about really quick what happened last time with Mom afterwards? What the whole your whole reading, just real fast.
sure.
You guys, if you were here last time, you may remember that Michael got a reading, and I
Oh,
told,
sorry. Bethany just
oh,
said we we all called him Joshy, but there's also an animal we called too.
did it have to do with being fast? Was it like Jaguar or something
He
like
was very fast.
that? Okay, yeah. Well, when you said it, I got Joshy right away, but the animal didn't quite. But I kept getting something about being fast, like cheetah or I don't know, something like fast, something fast.
Yeah.
uh,
Okay. So
So I want to tell everyone last time, and with your permission, I'll just kind of because it's kind of crazy, but I bawled my eyes out, and I did not realize Michael and I had only exchanged a few words before we met for the show.
thank you, Joy.
Yeah, thank you, Joy. And I did not know that I've read for Michael's mom first and foremost several times, and she's a lovely, lovely woman, and I miss her dearly already, as I know Michael is grieving. And um, I gave Michael a reading, and I talked about that the bed. Michael was going in and making the bed and straightening the sheets and straightening the sheets, and he was going in and turning on the light on his dad's side, and it's a one shaded lamp, and he would turn it on and look around and turn it off, like almost like checking around the room or turning on a night light, but then leaving. And I saw his dad in the light, and Michael didn't want this had only happened with his mom a few days prior, and I
The
didn't know
day
that.
before.
Okay, the day before, and I didn't know that. And I give him this reading, and he did not tell me, "Oh yeah, Tammy, I know what you're talking about because that my mom's gone." Michael just kind of quelled it over because he knew that being on the air and doing this way he was gonna have a breakdown. He didn't want to do that. So afterwards, Michael and I spoke, and Michael said, "I got to tell you something," and he told me about her passing the day before. And he said he was going in and making the sheets and straightening them and turning on the light and looking around like that because of her vacancy, not because she was there. And that was just amazing confirmation, Michael, that your dad, was right there to receive her and in the light. And I
Yeah.
think that is just so beautiful. And all of us, just have such empathy and sympathies for you. And really, if there's anything you need, like it's so hard. And my mom's the only one left in our family, so I completely am going to have a meltdown when that happens. So I understand moms are super important to us, and all my
Yeah.
love for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'll also share that a friend did a reading of the energy that because she can do that with having a photo.
Mm-hmm.
And she said she looked at the date and time into the system, and it showed what her energy was at that moment when she passed. And three emotions were prevalent: love, romance, and peace. And she said the romance had to be your dad was there.
Oh yeah.
And so that was like another beautiful confirmation of what I felt and what you got and
Hmm.
what she got. We all were on the same page. And just so you all know, like, Tammy's in Oklahoma, I'm in Texas, that friend is in California. So there's no way we got together and said,
Yeah.
oh, let's, share this and do this so we can make this really cool. And so it naturally happened. And while you were saying that, Bethany chimed in with, it was a
I
donkey.
do that. She's wanted. She's meaning to say a jackass, right?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I love it. Well, listen, spirit is great, and spirit is all around us at all times. Our loved ones, our guardians, our angels are always following us, guarding us, guiding us.
Yeah.
Just keep your eyes open and your mind open and listen. And
And the beautiful thing, too, that I will share is the day before the afternoon, my mom passed. And then the next day we did the readings. And I also said to Tammy, I didn't want to tell you beforehand because I knew in my heart you would be like, I can't do the episode tonight because I knew you would get emotional. And
yeah,
so I was like, I waited till after. But also, the important thing to point out is those facts of being in the sheets, turning on the light to join her after a show, and be in the room with her and staying with her and with my dad. I hadn't had a chance to tell anybody about that. So she picked up on what I was doing that week before I told anybody. So that was
yeah.
just an amazing to
It broke
hear
my
that.
heart. It broke my heart because I had no idea. I just thought I was giving you a reading from Dad.
Yeah. And I was trying not to also answer and say
I know you did a good
in
job.
the reading saying, well, she's on the other side. So it kind of got awkward because she would be saying stuff like, so tonight when, you go in there, do this. And I was like, okay.
I
Because I
know.
was like doing my best to be like, she's not here, but at the same time, I don't want to, like mess with the evening. So I was just like, okay, yeah, I will. And in fact, I did not that night, but the next night go in the room and turn on the light and said, here you go.
Yeah.
And then turned it off and walked out of the room.
Oh, well, this has been a wonderful evening. Joy, you're a sweetheart. Jess, you're a sweetheart. Everyone that has joined here tonight, Bethany, Danny, anyone else that's been on here, that I hope you tell your friends. Join us next month. We will be posting the date. Michael, we don't have one yet, but we'll figure it out. We'll post it. We'll let you all know. Same time, about a month, right?
Yes, just make sure you like, subscribe, and follow along with this channel as I'll be making the announcement there. And I will post when it is up and running. I didn't have a chance to this time because Facebook was being testy with me, putting it in Tammy's page.
Mhm.
So make sure you follow on both of us. And oh, you're welcome, Joy. It's my privilege and honor. And I'll share for a real quick second. The history of this show actually was last year. Tammy was a guest on my show, and we were talking about. She's like, we should do something. And we were like, yeah. And we both had the idea of doing live readings, but we couldn't figure out the timing just wasn't right. And then we reapproached each other a few months ago and we're like, yeah, we. And
Yeah,
I said to her, remember how you wanted to do this? I think now. And she's like, well, let's talk about how this would work. And we started talking. And so this has been in the works for a while,
yeah.
but the energies finally intertwined, and we're like, now's the time. And I honestly have to say, I think with, as you pointed out, with the situation the world's in, without getting political, this
Mm-hmm.
is needed now more than
Oh,
ever. And
God, it is.
so I
Yeah.
think it's perfect how it's come into play right as it was needed. And every episode, a bunch of people come and are part of the show. So we are eternally grateful for all of you joining us in the chat
Oh,
room. And if one person gets readings all night versus a bunch of people, we don't mind. We're here to provide you guys space to receive these messages. And if you want more, talk to Tammy, because she does this for a living. And so there's a connection for you. And yes, we do this out of the kindness and generosity of our hearts to you all every month. And so, as long as you guys keep showing up, we'll keep showing up with you.
that's right. Well, we hope you guys had a wonderful time tonight on Writing Through the Unknown. We hope you join us next month. And with that, Michael, we should sign off.
I think we should too, because as everyone keeps chiming in, we're going to keep being here. So,
I
have
know.
a, have a wonderful night, everyone, and stay connected.
Good night.
Good night.